Indeed, youth are the vital source and one of the main forces for economic development. They are currently the effective partner, the future leader. Therefore, youth are inevitable partner of the government in building peace and prosperity in our region.
It was very interesting for some challenges, and one of that we're talking about the difficulty and problem in regarding to civil society. So I didn't get clearly what are the challenges. So what I just want to figure out from you that what is the specific difficulty or problem regarding to civil society here. So I just take only youth organization, because youth organization or youth group also part of the civil society. So as we are youth, what is your specific recommendation to solve those challenges?
So today our youth leader from Asian country and China. Actually, I'm delighted to be here as your moderator for session 2 discussion this afternoon, role of the youth leaders. The two important main role come up in my mind. It will be like the primary role of the youth leaders is to give hope to the world. And second primary role of the youth leaders is to make another leaders. Myself, my name is Kim Sok-Heng. I am a part of World Youth Assembly members, and we have our head office in the UK, and back to Cambodia, become the senior advisor for a Cambodian Asian Youth Association here. And I'm very pleased and delighted and to learn and to share, to facilitate in this, to become a good youth leaders. To me, one is to have a good guideline from the old youth. Secondly, we need a good role model from the old generation that we can learn to be the next generation of future leaders. It also depends on the strength of the root. So the strength of youth leadership, it's also depend on the youth characteristic. By having a good foundation from the inside, because I also believe that if the youth are not part of the solution, then we must be part of the problem. That the youth leader from Asian countries and China to strengthen, to enhance our close relationship, then the question is who? Who will do it for us if it is not us? My role as a moderator will be finished shortly, but our vision, our action, it will last long life. And the last question, we don't do it now. The question is when.
So we have many things in order to help, in order to reduce this poverty reduction. So first through education. If we provide education to like the young people or to the people, first they get a skill, they get a knowledge. The second point we have to disseminate information to like the young or to those who have not yet get the job. Through what? Through the seminar, through the information, any kind of media that we can spread this information to the people. And another thing we have to involve in all private sectors, all stakeholders, and also from the government. So for example, like if people, they are willing, they do not have the job to do, but when they got education, or when some people, they do not have education, but they are willing to work in order to get a skill. So the private sector or the government can provide, we call like professional skill for those who have no job. So when we involve all this sector, when the people who have no job to do, they can ready to get professional skill. So when they get professional skill, they can ready to work. So if they can get the work, this poverty reduction can be decreased. So this is the mean that can help people or the poor people.
Okay, so it is my pleasure to be the moderator for this session, and thanks to the organizer for this opportunity, and also to have also all the handsome and pretty panel speaker with full of wisdom. he or she will share us all the summary from all the session. So here we have a panel speaker from Indonesia, from China, from Vietnam, and from Thailand.
A dream. So ASEAN Secretariat can easy to control us from the association, and then the fund will become to us from that association. I think that is the summary from Indonesian delegation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the very short and meaningful recommendation from Indonesia. ASEAN-China Youth Association, so that it can be the good platform for sharing information to do other things regardless the fund. Once we have the association, we will get the fund or other more in the association what we're going to do. So thank you so much for your specific recommendation. Okay, so China. Yeah, he will introduce himself because they changed some panel speaker. So please.
Thank you very much. My name is Luo Yongkun. I come from China Institute of Contemporary International Relations. I focused on the Malay and Indonesian characteristics of ASEAN and for the 10 nations. I understand. But do you understand what does the Chinese culture mean? The Chinese culture means Confucianism or the Taoism. So I think we must understand each other. This is we must think comprehensively so that we can promote the cooperation. We must consider the political, economic, and I have the 3 recommendations. First one, in the short term, we must exchange to promote the exchange program at various levels with the help of the government. This is in the short term. In the mid-term, that is, we must establish the China ASEAN Youth Leader Training Center. This is not a very common training center, but the training center for the youth leader. We must become a very professional youth leader. The third is in the long term. In the long term, we should to establish the China ASEAN Youth Association.
Building a member youth organization, including NGOs, so that we can facilitate the dialogue, the cooperation among organizations to share the best practice for development. This is very important that we will choose in each member country the selected youth organization like Young Entrepreneur Association, like
some of what he just mentioned, he provides the clear recommendation. The recommendation to create political security trust platform, improve capacity building for youth, improve the voice in policy dialogue, and create ASEAN-China Media Agency, organize young people on how to celebrate some anniversary, for example, like ASEAN-China anniversary. Also, platform for communication. And last recommendation regarding to establish the ASEAN-China Council rather than association. This is another idea. We have another idea around with ASEAN-China Youth Association, ASEAN-China Youth Council,
cultural cooperation, and so on. From the beginning to almost an end of the symposium, we have witnessed many commonly accepted recommendations of each nation. But it will be much proceeded to come to. ASEAN and China must be great and strong region, specializing in economic and finance. Everything can be as good as possible if we lack of
give the recommendation. So in that there was also support that ASEAN-China must be great or strong region specialized in economic and finance is what her impression. And also she suggests that if the country government listen to their voice and implement what we have discussed today, it's also a good thing. And also one of the recommendations, she said that we should have the joint declaration, something like to approve altogether what we're gonna do for later on. That's part of our, that's what she just mentioned earlier. So now we come to speaker. So what we hear so far, there are some common recommendations raised by our colleagues from the 4 countries, which is the first one is to establish the ASEAN-China Youth Association or Council. So we need to approve on this. What is the name and what is the name that we approve? But behind that, the idea is that we hear that the symposium agreed to establish some kind of mechanism or some kind of structure that would promote ASEAN-China youth-related issue and formalize it. So in this idea round, so what we're gonna do is just to agree all together what we will use the word.
Excellency, Dr. Thieu, distinguished guests, ASEAN-China youth leaders, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have come to an end of our symposium. We have acknowledged that this symposium offers an opportunity to review the achievements which result from good cooperation among our ASEAN-China youth leaders. As a matter of fact, based on the activity of group discussion, question in the symposium agenda illustrated that our symposium has monitored and evaluated in the detail in an overview of ASEAN-China relations regarding the challenges and the achievement, strategic partnership, political and security cooperation, economic and social cultural cooperation, and future planning for the ASEAN-China relations. We work together in a spirit of friendship, harmony, and prosperity.